Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl, aka Artsy Island Girl for Pear Blossom Press. Today I'm sharing an unforgettable interactive birthday card. This one is using a combination of stamps, dies, and stencils to create an interactive card front where the frog jumps on the lily pad. I'm using the frog prints die set here from Spellbinders for the main interactive element. Then I'm using the lily pad stencil set. There's two different layers to that to create a really adorable background. And then I'm using the Toadally awesome birthday stamp set here for my sentiments. There's a lot of different words that I'm going to combine together for the inside of the card, and I'm going to be using some of them for the front of the card. I'm also using the Fountain Wishes die set, but only for that birthday hat on the bird. I thought it would look adorable if the frog had a birthday hat on it. I'm going to start by doing my simple stenciled background. I have my Hammermill Cardstock on the sticky mat here, taped in place to make sure that it's not going to move on me. For the first layer, there's several different areas that I want to do in different colors. So I'm just using a piece of printer paper to mask off the different areas. For the flower, I use some worn lipstick distress ink, making sure to be a little bit darker towards the center of the flower, a little bit lighter towards the outer edges of the petals. For the cattails, I'm using some vintage photo distress ink, again being darker towards the bottom, lighter towards the top where the sun would be hitting it. Then for the bottom, for the lily pad, I'm using some twisted citron for the first layer and then a little bit of Mowed lawn towards the center of that. I really want there to be some color variation in that lily pad. I want the outer edges to be nice and light and then the inner edges or the center to be darker. So for the water ripples on the bottom, I'm using some broken china ink, and then we're ready to work on the next layer. The next layer doesn't have nearly as many colors to it or different sections to it. It's mostly the reeds, the little top pieces of the cattails. So I'm going to do whatever ink is left on my brush from the vintage photo on the little top piece for the cattails. For the greenery, for the reeds, I'm going to start with that twisted citron, but I'm going to be doing this layer mostly with the Mowed lawn towards the bottom of the cattails, the bottom detail pieces for the lily pad. I, again, want some color variation. One of the things that I think makes things look a little bit interesting is when we have stenciled areas that are lighter and stenciled areas that are darker. I think it just gives it just a little bit more interest to it. Now, I want there to be a little bit of texture to my background, so I'm going to take that first stencil, I'm going to match it back up. If I had thought about this ahead of time, I would have done the stencils in reverse order so that I didn't have to rematch it up, but it totally is easy to match up those areas. I'm going to put some Moondust Stickles glitter gel on those water ripples. We're still going to be able to see that blue ink underneath it, but it's going to add some texture and it's going to add some sparkle to the water. Whatever paste was left on my palette knife there, I used it on the edges of that flower just to give it some texture as well as a little bit of sparkle. I didn't do the entire thing, just a little bit on there for some interest, really. I'm going to set that aside to dry while I start to put together our frog. So I have everything die cut out. I have a light green for the belly of the frog, a dark green for the rest of the areas of the frog. For the party hat, I'm using some rose gold cardstock. The hat itself is in matte rose gold cardstock, and then the little streamer things that hang out of the top are glitter finish. So we have some metallic finish on the birthday hat, but you could also use regular solid colored cardstocks in some fun party birthday colors. I'm going to use that Mowed lawn distress ink to add a little bit of ink blending to my die cut pieces. That's a step that you could eliminate if you want to, but I do think with some die kits, it just gives it a little bit more interest to it. I'm going to use liquid glue to put my frog together. I love using liquid glue with die cut pieces to layer them because it gives you that little bit of wiggle room to move and shimmy things in place and make sure you have everything assembled exactly how you want it to be. And by having a glue bottle with a really fine tip, you can put as much or as little glue as you want. For the eye pieces, I have the base piece die cut out of some scrap white cardstock. The pupil pieces are die cut out of some scrap black cardstock. I'm using a wax tip tool to put those pieces in place to make sure that I have them exactly where I want them to go. Then I'm going to put some glossy accents over top of those eyes, especially when it comes to frogs. I do it with a lot of different animal die cuts, but especially when it comes to frogs, I want those eyes to be bulging and nice and glossy and domed. So the best way to do that is to put some glossy accents on that and let it completely dry. I'm going to add the hat to the top of the frog. I want those little streamer pieces to be behind the eye, just the tip of that hat in the front and then we're going to let that dry. Now that it's dry, and it only takes a few seconds, it really doesn't take too long. I'm going to add a good amount of glossy accents on top of those eyes, and we want to let them completely dry. When you first put glossy accents or a product similar to that, it'll have a milky finish to it. But once you let it dry, and I probably let it dry for about an hour, I went and did some other things, it dries nice and crystal clear. For this stencil background, I'm cutting 1/4 inch off of each edge till the finished size is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. I have a piece of the darker green cardstock that I used for the frog body. I've trimmed that to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's going to be a mat around the outside of this. I'm using some dies from the Trinity Stamps Slide and Spin die set to create a channel for that frog to jump up and down on that lily pad. I'm using a little bit of Best Ever Craft tape to tape that die in place. I want to make sure it doesn't move on me while I'm doing that die cutting. Now I have waited till that Stickles glitter gel on the water and the lily pad are completely dry. You don't want to be doing that die cutting if there's any chance that it's not totally dry. So you want to make sure that it's completely and totally dry. For my sentiments, I'm using this Totally Awesome Birthday stamp set. I haven't used this stamp set before, so the very first thing I do is use a white eraser on the stamping surface. It just removes any possible manufacturer residue and helps the stamps take ink just a little bit better. Now, I want to use a bunch of these stamps to create a sentiment, but there's not a whole lot of room on the front of the card because of that stenciled background, but I also think that stenciled background is absolutely perfect to go with the frog, so I'm going to be stamping most of my sentiment on the inside of the card. So it's going to say, wishing you a totally awesome birthday. So it's using a combination of the stamps in that set. There's also a stamp that says jump for joy. I'm going to stamp that on the front because I think that really suits the frog jumping. So I'm going to save that for the front. This is going to go on the inside of my card. I have another piece of Hammermill Cardstock here. I positioned my stamps, and then once I have them positioned, I will use the lines, the grid on the front of that Misty to make sure everything is positioned properly. Now, the word birthday isn't its own stamp, so the word or the stamp there says happy birthday, and personally, I'm not one that can cut into stamps to separate them. So what I'm just going to do is look from the side and make sure to only ink the word birthday and not the word happy, so that I can still have just that word birthday, but I don't have to cut into my stamps to make that happen. Once I have that done, I just used a damp cloth to clean the ink off. It's just dye-based ink, so it cleans off the stamps really easily. I'm going to add that jump for joy to the front of the card. I'm using that same broken china that I used for the water. I wanted it to show up really nicely and be a different color from most of the rest of that background. So I put it in the opening that's in the top right of that background there. Now, that little channel that we die cut out of there, you could toss it if you want, but I want to glue it right below where that channel is going to be on the front of my card. So then when you're looking at it directly, it looks like we have a complete picture and we don't have a green oval in the center. So I centered my piece on that mat, glued down that piece that was die cut out of there. I can glue that onto the front of my card, and I have a top folding A2 card there, and it's so easy to create. I just cut a piece of cardstock to 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored it at 5 1/2 inches, and you create an A2 card that has the fold on the top. For both the mats on the front as well as the inside of the card, those are trimmed to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. My image piece on the front of the card as well as my sentiment piece for the inside of the card are trimmed to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Now, before we put the image piece on the front of the card, I thought I would take a little bit of that broken china and just do some light ink blending around the outside, just so that white isn't quite as stark. I'm not doing it very dark. I don't want to hide any of my image. I just don't want it to be quite as bright white. So we're adding a little bit of that around the outside edges. For my interactive feature, I'm using some Snap and Spins from Pear Blossom Press, and I'm going to start with one. I end up not liking it with just one, so I grab a second one, because with just one, that frog is going to spin and tip over. And initially I thought that I might be okay with that, but after testing it, I really want that frog to just stay upright and just kind of jump upright. So you'll see me putting one here. I'm going to put the foam tape on the back of my piece here. You want to have some foam tape that has enough dimension to it so that it can accommodate that snap and spin. If the foam tape you have isn't quite as thick, you can always do a double layer to it. I'll link the one that I'm using here in the supply list so you can see exactly which one it is. Pear Blossom Press also has foam tape, but they're just out of it right now, so you always have to find alternatives when you can't get your favorite things. So for right now, this is going to work. I'm putting it all the way around the outside edges. I want to make sure that that front is really supported well. Then I'm going to take the backing off of that tape and I'm going to center it on the front of the card. Now, adding that second snap and spin is definitely a lot easier before you add this front to the front of the card, but it's definitely possible to do it afterwards. You just want to be a little bit gentle. So once I've added it to the front, I test it and you can see that that frog flips around. And if you don't mind that, you can leave it as is, but I just thought it would look really nice if it didn't flip around like that. So I'm going to take the frog off of the snap and spin. I'm using some sticky spots to glue them to it, and it does it's possible to take it off without wrecking things. You want to be a little bit gentle, but you can take it off. I'm grabbing a second snap and spins, and there's two pieces to it. There's one that has the little post in there that snaps into the other one. So I took one piece and put it underneath my channel there. Then I put the other piece on there, snapping those in place. And now I can use another sticky spot, or actually two sticky spots, in order to add that to the front of there. I'm going to put those two snap and spins right together. There's enough space underneath that frog to hide them. And now we have a frog that just jumps up and down. And I like that a lot better than when it spins. So this is the final card. I absolutely love how it turned out. I think he's just adorable. Perfect for a birthday card, a fun one for spring and summer, or for someone that absolutely just loves frogs. You'll find everything that I've used listed and linked down in the description box below. I really hope that you try an interactive card like this because they're so easy to do, but there's a wonder to it when you add an interactive element to your cards. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I hope you have a fantastic day.